Hi, welcome back friends. So let's write code and let's continue our steps. Now we have the fourth step, write update query for table invoice. Okay, we have our table invoice in our database. So you can see here we have already copied and pasted the code from pos.php file, so we can reuse this code. You can see here the insert query, and we can change this insert query into the update query. So this will be our fourth step. Okay, so here we need to write for the update query. So here I am going to change first, then I will explain you. So here I am going to change update underscore tbl underscore invoice. Okay, and I can change the query here. So let me change first, then I will explain you. So here we have wrote the query. You can see here update tbl invoice, and here I am using the column name of the table invoice. Let me show you. Here is the column name of tbl invoice, which is order underscore date, subtotal, discount, SGST, CGST, total, payment type, due and paid. Okay, and you can see here the column name, and this is the placeholder order date. So this placeholder we are using here, order date, subtotal, discount. Okay, one by one. So you can see here our query, and here I am using a where clause where invoice ID is equal to $ID, and in the $ID we are getting the invoice ID from the URL. Okay, so now we need to change here. So how can we change? Simply let me copy this, and here I can by pressing shift and alter, and from the mouse I can control plus V for paste. Okay, and here I need to give you can see here in our variables I just added $txt then underscore just before the every variable. So this variable we need to use there. Okay, so let me copy this txt underscore okay, and this variable we are getting the values from the text field in this variable, and this variable we will pass here in our update query. So for order date give here txt underscore order date. Let me check first it is right or not. Txt underscore order date. Okay, perfect. And for the subtotal I can give that, and for the discount, and for the SGST and CGST, and for the total, and for the payment type, and for the due, and for the paid. Okay, and here I need to copy and paste this update table invoice, then execute. So our fourth step is complete now. Simply here we are using this placeholder in that query. You can see here is equal to the subtotal, and this is the placeholder. This placeholder we have used here in just front of the column names. Don't be confused. So our fourth step is completed now, and now let's copy this. Okay, and here we need copy and cut from there, that step, and here we have already the code from the pos.php file, and we need to write and we need to edit this code for saving the time. So for the fifth step, this is the fifth step, and let me copy and cut from here, and here I can write my fifth step. Okay, and here I need the fifth step, write select query for table product to get out the stock value. So here I am going to write select query in our for loop. Okay, inside the for loop. So let me write first, then I will explain you. So okay, our fourth step is completed, and after that we have completed our fifth step. And you can see here we have wrote this code in our POS.php file. And in the fifth step here I just wrote the query for select the stock value from table product. And in the for loop you can see here I just use a select PDT $PDO. I just get out the select asterisk from table product where PID is equal to array value, okay, of the product ID. And I just get out all the value, means I want to fetch the stock value actually. Then I use here a while loop, then I get out the value in $row PDT, and from the using of select PDT and using of fetch object method, okay. And from the database I just get out the stock value from the database from table product. And you can see here using of this line row PDT, then object and the column name of the stock. And here in this variable $remaining quantity means RMQTY, I am just checking here the value, the database value minus the quantity, okay. If the value of the stock is less than the quantity, then it will show us this message, order is not completed, okay. Otherwise here we have the sixth step. We have already wrote write update query for table product for update the stock value. So using of this query we are updating the stock of our table product. We have already wrote this query in our POS.php file, okay. Now we have the seventh step. So in the seventh step we have already the code, so copy this code and cut from here. And you can see here in the last we have the seventh step. We don't need to write any code here. So write insert query for table invoice details for insert new record. So here we have already the code, insert into table invoice details, invoice ID, barcode, product ID, product name. But here we need to change $ID, the same ID from the URL which invoice ID order we are editing or we are updating. So that's why we need to pass here $ID, not invoice, $invoice underscore ID, okay. So that's why we are passing here $ID, okay. And here we have $order date, okay, we don't need to change it. And we have here location order list.php. After updating the order we will redirect us it will redirect us on order list.php, okay. And this query is for setting up the text value and discount value in that text fields of SGST, CGST and discount. So don't worry for this code, okay. And our code is completed. Now let's check it is working or not. Let's first save, and first here let's give here we have given txt order underscore date, okay, from the text field, okay. And here order underscore date, and here we are getting the value for the date. So order date, so let's copy this variable and let's go here, and here let's pass this, okay. Let's save, first save file, Ctrl+S, and let's go on our here on order number 29. Let's go first order list, and here is our order number, invoice ID 30. Click on edit order, and you can see let me open the product list also, okay. And you can see here the first we have the product name is Dyna soap and the quantity is 972, and the previous quantity is 5. And here let me show you, if I select Dyna, so you can see here the stock quantity is 972, okay. Now let's change and let's try. If I remove the quantity. Let's give 2 here. Okay, and let's update. But if I click on update, it will ask please fill out this field. So let me copy this total and let me paste here. Let's click on update. Okay, it is showing us error. Violation, you have line number 140. Okay, discount 2 and check the manual MariaDB server for right. Syntax use near. Okay, date. Then subtotal, discount, and line number press 140. Okay, let's see the line number 140. Okay, txt order date. Okay, so in this query in line number 40, update table invoice execute. Here I forget to add set keyword. Okay, set then I think that's why we are getting error. Let's save our file and let's try again. Let's refresh our file. Okay, let's go back on order list.php file and let's see this order. Okay, and you can see here the dinosaur, and here if I increase the quantity, if I add 10 instead of 1, then what will be the result? You can see here. If I increase 10, you can see the changes here. Okay, and the amount is paid. Let's copy this. Okay, cash, let's paste it here. So here I am adding 800. Now let's click on update order. Perfect, our queries is working perfect. So our stock of Dyna soap was 977 and we have added 10 quantity. Now let's refresh. Okay, and search. Now you can see here the stock is 968 now. Okay, so the quantity 10 is minus from the stock. Okay, and now let's go back again on this order number 29, and you can see here the dinosaur and the stock is 968 now. And if I remove this row, the stock should be 9 increased by 10. Okay, now click here on the delete button. Okay, and again let's give here 500. Now click on update. Perfect, now let's check. Refresh our product list and search dinosaur. Perfect, you can see it there. Okay, now our stock is 978, not 77, because the stock is written 10 quantity because we have already ate 1 quantity. That's why it increased the 1 quantity again, 978. Okay, so our code is working perfect. We have already ate our stock when we delete the product from our previous order. Okay, now let's check again, and you can see here the veg burger and sugar packet, and you can see the stock is 998 for the veg burger and 495 for the sugar packet. Now let's create a new order. For creating new order, first go for the pos.php file and let's select veg burger and a sugar packet. Okay, and let's increase the stock by 10 and by 10. Okay, and payment is done by cash. Now let's save the order. Perfect, now order number 31 or invoice ID is 31 is created successful. And now let's check again the stock. Let's refresh our file. this time is 998 and 495. Now let's refresh. Okay, now it is 988 and 485. Okay, now let's go back on our order list and let's edit this order. Okay, and now let's select for example Kisan tomato ketchup, and I'm going to remove this sugar packet 5 kg and veg burger, which is the quantity is 10. Okay, and I have added other product Kisan tomato ketchup, and you can see here the subtotal, discount, SGST, CGST, and now I am doing payment. I am adding payment by card. Okay, so copy this and paste it here, and now let's update the order. Perfect. Okay, now it's showing the status, payment type is card. Now let's check again this quantity 988 and 485, it should be increased by 10. Refresh. Perfect. Now you can see here the stock quantities again reverse by 10 or add by 10. Now it's remain 998, okay, and 495. Okay, just like that we can refund the stock, or we can add the stock when we remove the row from the bill or order. Okay, so our edit order is working perfectly. We can increase the quantity from here. Okay, we can update. You can see the stock quantity is 188 and it will reduce by 10, reduce by 9, because one quantity is already here. If I adding 10 means it will decrease by 9. Okay, for the Kisan tomato ketchup, so it will let's see. Okay, what is the status? Let's paste here and update. Now the stock quantity is 188 and QTY is 10, quantity is 10. Update. Now let's come back on product list.php and search Kisan tomato ketchup. Perfect. You can see here the stock is now 179. So here the stock is decreased by 9 quantity, because there was 1 and we have 8 9, then 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, so now here is 179. Perfect. Our code is working perfect and our stock is updating now, and our order is also updating here. And in the next video tutorial we will write code for this delete order. Okay, so I hope you got this what I have done here. Let me show you again. Simply I just wrote in the first step, I just get out all the values in that variables, okay, from the text fields, and just before this code we have get out the values from the database in this variables, okay, not from the text fields. And we have set that variable in the text fields, and from the text fields when we click on the button we get out the values in that variables. Okay, and that variables we are using here. And after in the second step we just wrote query for update or for reverse the stock quantity in table product. Okay, you can see here. And in the third step, after updating the stock, we have deleted table invoice details table value. Okay, and after that we have wrote the query, update query for table invoice data, okay, for updating from the array value. You can see here from the text field values. After this in the fifth step, you can see here in the for loop we have get out the value of the stock, and we have comparing the stock value here. And after that, after comparing, we are updating the stock value again in the table product. Okay, and in the seventh step now we have insert the values in table invoice details again, this arrays values with the same invoice ID. Okay, then it will redirect us after updating all the records on order list.php. I hope you got this. If you have any problem, you can ask me the question. So see you in next video.